Welcome back everybody to another top buy, top sell video. Hope y'all are having a great day so far. Before we get into our top buy and top sell, however, I want to check out the smart money tracker as well as retail sentiment to get an idea of how smart money traders as well as retail traders, what they're going long and short on. So up here we have a little note. The data, the COT data has been coming in a little bit delayed, but that's okay. We can check out the information that we already have right here. So starting off with our most bullish asset, I can see that US oil is currently the most bullish asset from institutional traders or smart money traders, however you want to look at it. Again, we're taking a look at COT data here. So oil currently 80.68% long from institutional traders and 19.32% short. The Swiss franc is actually the most shorted asset from institutional traders, coming in at 78.37% short and 21.63% long. If we want to take a look at, say, the US dollar, I can see it right here, 64.74% long and 35.26% short. Let's take a look at two more. How about gold? Gold is pretty popular. Gold is actually the second most long from institutional traders, coming in at 72.59% long and 27.41% short from institutional traders. And how about one more? You know what? Let's do two more. Let's do a US indice, NASDAQ 100, 41.33% long, 58.67% short. And we'll do the euro as well. Euro coming in pretty bullish as well, 69.69% long and 30.31% short. Down here, we have our list of all of our assets, again, going from most bullish up here at the top to most bearish down here at the bottom. We can see the total amount of long contracts, the total amount of short contracts, their latest change long and short from whenever we got that data most recently, as well as their percentage, of course, right here. So feel free to pause the video or take a screenshot to take a look at all of that information.
The Edge Finder has gone dark. The same helpful trading software you love, now with a new look. Get access to our buy and sell watch list. Stay up to date with the market heat map. Get all the information you need for technical and fundamental analysis, and so much more. The Edge Finder is the perfect tool to give you confidence when taking on the markets and help you find more successful trades. If you want the market scanner for yourself, you can find it in the link in the description below, and you can use code A1YT at checkout for a discount on the Edge Finder.
Let's go ahead and check out retail sentiment. This, again, of course, is retail traders. And so I know that we're taking a look at a lot right here. I'm going to simplify it in just a second, but right off the bat, I just want to point out that CAD CHF is apparently our most long pair out of all of the different assets that we are tracking in the Edge Finder. CAD CHF coming in at 95% long, 5% short. CHF JPY, on the other hand, our most shorted pair out of all of them, 94% short and only 6% long there. So let's simplify this a little bit. Let's check out only US dollar pairs. So if I click major currency pairs only, there we go. That's a little easier to read. NZD USD seems to be our most long US pair, coming in at 74% long and 26% short. USD CAD, our most shorted pair, 83% short, 17% long. Let's take a look at our other currency pairs. I'm going to hit minor currency pairs only. Here are the rest of our currency pairs, CAD CHF and CHF JPY, of course, at the very top and very bottom there. But again, if you want a little bit of a closer look, you can take a screenshot, pause the video, get some updated retail trader data here for you. But I'm going to go ahead and head back into the watch list and remove these neutral biases, because we just want to look at buys and sells. And I'm also going to remove any indices or commodities. Looks like just indices at the moment, so that we are left with only currency pairs. So we are taking a look at USD CAD, seems to be our strongest buy with a score of +8. And Aussie USD is our strongest sell with a score of -10. So it looks like we're going to be taking a look at USD CAD and Aussie USD, as they are clearly our top buy and top sell today in the Edge Finder. So let's go ahead and check both of these out. We'll start off with USD CAD. Here we go. USD CAD, like I mentioned, a score of +8, a strong buy bias. COT data comes in at a score of +2, and retail sentiment a score of +1. So let's get into those numbers right over here. US COT data, we actually just took a look at this, but 64.74% long, 35.26% short on the US dollar, and 68.58% short, 31.42% long on the Canadian dollar. So institutional traders favored long on the dollar and favored short on the Canadian dollar. That's giving us a +2 score there. Retail sentiment, on the other hand, this was our most shorted US dollar pair from retail traders, 83% short and 17% long. Let's take a look at seasonality now. Seasonality, a score of +1. And we can see here that in the month of February, historically speaking, when we're taking a look at the last 10-year averages, this pair performed somewhat bullishly in the month of February. Again, historically speaking, when we take a look at our last 10-year averages in the month of February alone, historically speaking, this pair tends to perform a little bit better throughout the month of February. Our trend reading is a score of +2, and we can see that we took a dive right here for a little bit, but then have come up strong over the last 3 days, making some really nice moves to the upside, and price forecast predicts that that should continue to be the case. We're going to finish up with our fundamentals here: GDP growth, inflation, unemployment, and interest rates. Inflation is our one little box here with a score of -1. The other three have scores of +1. Fundamental data is right here. USD GDP growth 2.9% compared to 0.7% in Canada. US inflation currently 6.4% compared to 6.3% in Canada. US unemployment 3.4% compared to 5%. And lastly, US interest rates currently 4.75% compared to 4.5% in Canada. All right, so that was our strongest buy breakdown. Now we're going to head into our strongest sell, which was Aussie USD with a score of -10, a very, very strong sell score. Let's get into those numbers right now. So like I just mentioned, a score of -10 for Aussie USD, COT data a score of -2, and retail sentiment a score of -1. Now I'm going to skip over some of these US dollar numbers because we literally just went over them. I'm going to focus on the Australian dollar numbers instead. So we can see institutional traders currently 68.01% short, 31.99% long on the Australian dollar. So again, institutional traders favored long on the US dollar and definitely favored short on the Australian dollar. Retail traders, on the other hand, 64% long here, 36% short. So retail traders, again, favored long on Aussie US as a whole. Seasonality is a score of -1. So the opposite of USD CAD. We can see here that in the month of February, historically speaking, again, when we take a look at the month of February over the last 10 years, how does Aussie US perform throughout the month of February? Well, historically speaking, based on this line right here, sitting just below this zero or this neutral line right here, we can determine that over the last 10 years, historically speaking, Aussie US typically does not perform very well in the month of February. It performs slightly bearishly. Trend reading rather is a score of -2, and we can see that this has pretty much just been making moves to the downside over the last week or so. We've had a nice strong move right here over the 3 days, shot back up a little bit, and then has come back down, and price forecast is projecting that this thing will continue to drop somewhat heavily, it looks like, but we will see. This is, of course, just a forecast. Let's get into our fundamentals. GDP growth, inflation, unemployment, and interest rates, all scores of -1. So that means that the US dollar is currently beating out the Australian dollar in all 4 of these fundamental metrics that we track right here. Again, I'm going to skip over the US numbers because we just went over them, but GDP growth in Australia, 0.6%, inflation, 7.8%, unemployment, 3.7%, and interest rates 3.35%. So there we go. That is our breakdown of Aussie US as well as USD CAD, our top buy and top sell currently in the Edge Finder. I'll remind you that if you want the Edge Finder Pro for yourself, you can get it at a discounted price when you use code A1YT at checkout. Again, Edge Finder Pro, discounted price with code A1YT. If you go down into the link in the description below, you can also find a link to the free version of the Edge Finder. We have released a very limited but free version of the Edge Finder so you can try out the software for yourself. It's not a trial. It will not expire. Once you have it, it is yours for free. Again, it's just a limited version of it, but the Edge Finder Pro you can get at a discounted price. Same links down in the description below. You can find it. Discounted price, code A1YT.